अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, गुड आफ्टरनून, वेलकम टू फूड डायरीज थैंक्सगिविंग स्पेशल शो। आप सोच रहे हैं आज एक स्पेशल शो है तो स्पेशल मेहमान भी होंगे, तो जी हाँ, यूएस काउंसिल जनरल हैं हमारे शो पे आज कॉनरैड ट्रिबल, और उनके साथ साथ हैं हेदर मर्फी जो हैं यहाँ की इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफिसर, और उनको करते हैं पहले अपने शो पे वेलकम। वेलकम टू मसाला टीवी, वेलकम टू पाकिस्तान।
थैंक यू, शुक्रिया। Very nice to be here.
Okay, बहुत शुक्रिया. Okay, so you both do know a few words of Urdu.
She knows quite a few. She's pretty good. I'm like just a little bit.
अच्छा नहीं, लेकिन मैं उर्दू बोल सकती हूँ।
मुझे समझ आ गई।
जी, मैं समझती हूँ जी।
Okay, very good. That's great.
See?
Okay, so आज है Thanksgiving show, and tell us about how you celebrate Thanksgiving in your country.
So Thanksgiving is the most popular, I think, the most fun holiday in the United States. It's the one where the most Americans will come together with their families. This is one where the big families come together for a meal, a large meal, a day-long exercise of just coming together. It celebrates something very important in our early history when the first English settlers and the American Indians of a particular tribe in Massachusetts got together and sort of helped each other survive a very hard winter. But it's a tradition that's been around for 200 years. And yeah, it's a lot of food, it's a lot of talking, a lot of laughing, families. It's a great holiday.
Any special significance with the turkey?
Turkey has been, as a native animal to the United States, it has just been the Thanksgiving dinner meal since at least the 1860s. Thanksgiving Day was declared official during the Civil War in 1860, and it's been that. The turkey almost became the American national bird in the beginning. We decided for the eagle instead, so we don't eat the eagle, but we eat the turkey.
Okay, so you're going to cook a turkey for me today?
We are, yes, we have a turkey.
Lucky me.
And the thing is, Thanksgiving is all about the rest of the food. I like to say Thanksgiving meal is what often Pakistanis eat on a regular basis. It's a meal with everything, with many different dishes. So you have a turkey as the centerpiece and a lot of different side dishes.
Okay, great. And what are you going to cook for me, Heather?
So I unfortunately am not known to be a fantastic cook in my family. And one of the things that's beautiful about Thanksgiving is every family member usually has something they contribute. And my traditional dish that I have been bringing to the table is mashed potatoes. It's not fancy, I know, but everybody wants mashed potatoes.
Yes.
And so that is what I will be contributing, and then I will be helping make all the other dishes. I am a good assistant chef.
Okay, so you'll be assisting me in making
I will absolutely
the dish that I will want you to try.
Yes.
So it's called mutanjan, and it's almost like a zarda, which is a sweet type of a rice.
Right.
Zarda is yellow in color, and it's mostly served at weddings. Mutanjan is tri-colored, so we'll have, I think, red, green, and yellow rice, and we'll top it with some lovely mithai. I don't know if you've already tasted mithai here or not.
Yes.
It's sweet meat, like chocolate shop. So we have a mithai shop.
Right.
Yeah, it's confectionery, it's sweet meat, and loads of calories.
We will.
Perfect, that's right in line for Thanksgiving.
That is exactly. Thanksgiving is all about maximum calories.
We can diet later.
Exactly. Next day, always starts the next day.
Okay, so before we start cooking, you have already made a turkey for me?
So we prepared one yesterday because, of course, it typically takes 3 or 4 hours to roast.
Okay.
And then, along with turkey, you will have many different side dishes, and every family does it differently. But we've brought a stuffing. Usually you make a stuffing. If you put it inside the turkey to bake it, you call it stuffing. If you bake it outside, you call it dressing. It's the same thing. Okay. It's delicious.
And it's basically bread.
It's bread with spices, sometimes other meat, sometimes vegetables, as an accompaniment to the turkey. Yeah.
Okay. So even if you have a turkey, you still need some meat in the stuffing?
Well, typically, yes. Yeah, you can make it with anything. And of course, the beauty of Thanksgiving is people can adjust and adapt and bring their family traditions. So some people do vegetarian stuffing.
And what about the cranberry sauce? I've heard all about.
Must have. Cranberries are original fruit of northern New England, which is where the Pilgrims first started. And cranberry sauce is a must-have. We could not find any cranberries, so we don't have cranberry sauce today. Okay. But that's something you always have to have. Yeah.
Other than that, what else can you serve the turkey with? Because it's just a dry meat, basically.
Gravy. Definitely have gravy with the turkey. Okay. We also, in my family at least, we usually have some sort of roast vegetable to go with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone always makes a salad. I'm not going to lie, the salads don't often get eaten. But all the other vegetables, Brussels sprouts.
Sauteed mushrooms, asparagus, sweet potatoes. We
Cream
have
corn.
potatoes.
Cream corn.
And then
Are you
the
doing
family
cream corn
tradition
for me today?
My family tradition is creamed corn, and we're going to try to do that here too.
Great,
Yeah.
great. I look forward to that. We'll take a short break and then we'll go to the counter and we'll start cooking, and you can teach me how you do your Thanksgiving meal, and I'll teach you mutanjan, which is shadi speciality, a wedding speciality.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Sounds
Thank
So
you.
we'll take a short break. कहीं मत जाइएगा, देखते रहिए हमारा शो फूड डायरीज थैंक्सगिविंग स्पेशल ऑन मसाला टीवी। जी वेलकम बैक, आप देख रहे हैं फूड डायरीज थैंक्सगिविंग स्पेशल और हमारे स्पेशल गेस्ट के साथ अब हम टर्की को मैरिनेट करना शुरू करेंगे। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट।
All right, so a turkey. What I usually do, and you didn't see it, is I marinate it in salt water, a salt bath.
You brine
it
Yes.
for 24 hours, up to 36 hours.
Okay.
Because that soaks water into the meat, it makes it less dry. The breast meat often can be dry, so you want to make sure it doesn't. So we've done that. And so what we have is the turkey ready to be prepped and trussed for that. And I always just want to make sure we've dried it off sufficiently, because you want to salt it and do a few things to it. And then, obviously, you want to pull out everything that comes inside. So there's the neck, there are the gizzards, the liver, and I use that while I'm starting the turkey to make gravy. That spends all day. We won't do that here, but that's what you do. And so then to
Before you put butter, should we put the bread?
yes. So we're going to make stuffing, and the breadcrumbs over there need to be dried out. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
So
That's Heather's job.
That's where the sous chef comes in.
we'll just show our viewers the bread.
Yes.
Okay. All of it?
All of it.
Okay.
Put it all in. We may not use all of it, depending on how much, but generally we just want to try to get it
Okay.
dried out a little bit so that it can absorb liquid from when we make the stuffing later.
Great.
Okay. This goes in the oven?
It does.
And that's maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes of drying out. If you do it the night before, you just leave it out and dry it, it's fine. But if you don't have it, if it's fresh bread, you dry it out first. So, okay, then what I'm going to do is, the most important thing is to get a fair amount of butter,
Under the skin.
olive oil, under the skin,
Literally.
on the breast meat especially. So you just take your hand and you can kind of work it in, and you can do this with any bird, of course, not just turkey, but try not to tear the skin. I'm usually good at that, but I'm, sometimes you tear the skin and then you just do. But it's a hands-on kind of thing.
Experience.
It is. I always find it feels weird, but then you just think, it is
Everyday work.
It does. It's right. So I'm in my family. I've always been the turkey cooker, the turkey maker for whatever reason.
The marinator.
Yep. And then, as Heather said, everybody does something, right? If everybody comes, they bring something. Okay. So now I've got enough. I'm just going to grab a big wad of butter, and you can be as generous as you want, and you just basically are putting it in there, and that's going to help keep the meat from drying out too much.
Okay.
It gives it flavor, and it helps crisp up the skin, and it's just generally delicious. Butter is really
I love butter.
that thing. My Swiss-Italian mother and her mother, Elda Piazzoli from Ticino, would probably have put olive oil instead of butter, but I have become Americanized enough that I tend to go with the butter. So you can kind of go with one. I try to do a little bit into the drumsticks.
Okay.
That's hard to do. So then you end up doing a lot of it really on the outside. And it's really all about just getting butter all over.
And how long do you think you will marinate this? Like when you make it at home?
Actually, in terms of this, the marinating that I do is the brining beforehand. Then you really salt and pepper vegetables. Salt and pepper and butter like this, and then you cook it, and then it's like a 3 to 4 hour, depending on the
Size
pounds.
of the bird?
Depends on the size of the bird. We are going to make a stuffing, and you can make a stuffing that you actually use to stuff the bird, and then bake it that way. That takes a little longer to cook, but many people don't do it. They do the stuffing separately in a dish, which is what we did. Okay, so I've now made a mess of the bird with lots of butter. Then it's just really salt and pepper all over everything. I will do it inside as well, because you want to get some flavoring from the inside. So, I mean, you just...
Literally throwing it in.
Just throwing salt. You're trying to coat, but I found that it's just as easy, especially if you get a little bit of an angle, just as easy to kind of throw it up and you get it on the inside.
Okay.
And then we have, that looks like black pepper, and you do the same thing that way. I just kind of spread it around like that, and a little bit of sprinkling over the top.
Okay.
This is all going to sort of come out in the flavoring. And then, since we have them, since I would normally do stuffing, I'll take one of these onions and just put it inside. It just gives a little flavoring as it's cooking.
Okay.
And then we have this huge wad of,
Let me smell this.
Oh yeah. Oh, lovely. So this is, I think it's rosemary and thyme. You can add sage.
Fresh. So good.
You want it to be fresh. It has to be fresh, yeah. Sage, parsley, bay leaf if you want, laurel, anything. Oh. Yeah, that's good. Did you smell that?
No, that sounds lovely.
And then this is again just it's like an aromatic. You just
lovely.
just shoving it in there. That's all.
What about the
really
garlic?
The garlic I'm going to do on the outside because it tends to just that infuses the juices, which you then later use to mix in with your gravy that you're making, so you have a nice juice. So there's that. So then you can get super fancy with the wings. Some people will try to put them under, build a little tower, whatever. I just put them nicely there. And then you want to take the 2 drumsticks. And the trick is, to get that nice looking bird, we're going to fold them together like that, and then we're going to tie them. So would you hold this while I tie it? Okay. Because that's got to be, that it can be done with one hand, but it's a lot easier with 2. All right, so.
Okay.
And it's not rocket science, it's not fashion design, it's just tie them so that they
don't escape.
They stay nicely together. And it's more, I mean, honestly, it's more about aesthetics. If I had scissors, I'd cut that a little bit.
We have scissors.
Oh, okay, we do. If we have scissors, yeah, there's a pair of scissors. There we go. Okay. So it's thank you. It's about the aesthetics of
too long. This is too long.
The bird. Yeah. I'm going to make sure that I don't. Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
So that you get the bird kind of truss like that, that. And then, it's just I fill that in. You can put onions. These are small onions. You can put shallots.
We have these onions. We don't have shallots.
Yeah. You can also put. Some people will put potatoes in there and then roast them. If you wrap them in aluminum foil, you can put carrots. You can put
any root vegetable.
Yeah.
Really, anything.
Any
Anything that will be flavored by the juices of the turkey.
Great.
But basically, that's done and ready to go in the oven.
Okay.
And you're typically going to cook between 13 and 15 minutes a pound, which I wrote down in terms of kilos. We'll talk about that. But for a turkey of about that size, you're talking about 3 hours of roasting
at 180 degrees.
At 75 Celsius. No, it's not that. I'll look. It's 175 Celsius. Sorry. At 175 Celsius. I know it's 375 Fahrenheit. At 175 Celsius.
Okay.
And the important thing is you want to get the internal temperature of the turkey in the drumstick up to 165 Fahrenheit, which is about 73, 74 Celsius. And then one other trick, which I won't do, but I will. But I do this. This is how many people roast a turkey. The breast side is up. The wings are down. The breast side is what cooks first and is the driest meat. So what I used to do, I flip it over. I cook it breast side down because then the juices flow downward. They flow into the meat so that it doesn't dry out. And then about 2/3 of the way through, you have to pull it out with your gloves and a hot turkey and turn it gently back over without burning yourself.
Okay.
That's the fun part, but it makes for, after a couple glasses.
And do you put foil or something on top?
Only at the end. Okay. You basically want to turn it back over because you want that nice roasted look, which you will see on the one that we did yesterday.
Yes.
You want it to be nice. Once it gets brown, if the temperature of the meat inside is not ready, then you tent it with foil so that it doesn't burn on the top while you're finishing cooking. That's what you do. Okay. So I always put this in. It's a nice little temperature gauge, and we just put it in right here. It's sort of into the meat of the thigh. It's a meat thermometer. And then it's ready to go in the oven.
Okay.
Shall we do that?
What about the bread?
So the bread should be ready to come out. That's definitely ready to come out. So we can take it out and just let it cool a little bit. But if it's hot, it's okay.
Okay. So do you want to put this in the oven?
I'm ready to put it in the oven if I'm allowed to.
Yes,
in this
please.
famous kitchen. There we go. Okay. If it fits, let's see if it fits this way. Because no, it doesn't. I have to go in this way. Yep. so we can see the thermometer.
That's fancy.
Okay.
That's right.
So we put this in the oven. We need to take a little break. We'll come back, we'll clean up, and then we'll start with our stuffing. And Heather's going to make it for us.
There's a reason I don't do the turkey.
Okay. So we'll take a short break. कहीं मत जाइएगा, देखते रहिए Thanksgiving special show of Food Diaries only on Masala TV. Okay जी, welcome back. अब हम next step करेंगे जो vegetables के हैं, तो let's get started.
So this is to make stuffing, which is usually sort of a bread pudding, but it's savory, and it's one of the big dishes. So we start with, it's very simple. It can cover a lot of sins. We do, I use celery, leeks, and onions, and a few other things that go into it. So we're going to start.
ये नाज़रीन leek है, ठीक है? Spring onion या हरा प्याज नहीं है. ये मिलता है यहाँ, और celery भी मिलती है आपको.
So we're just basically cutting the tops of this off.
You don't need the leaves.
I save that to make soup later on,
so
but
do
I
I,
don't.
yeah.
I don't do the. But I don't lose that bit of celery there. But I don't use them in the celery.
Okay.
And then we're going to stir fry them or saute them a little bit.
You don't need this right now?
Don't need that right now. That's right. Yeah. All right. And it's interesting. Celery in Pakistan has a slightly different feel.
Yes.
It's slightly thinner and stronger tasting. I like it actually, but it's interesting how it's different from.
Has a sharp taste.
Yeah, no, it really
like
does.
a spicy taste.
Yeah. Which is why you like it in something like a stuffing, because a turkey is not a strong flavor. So stuffing tends to be the place where you carry a lot of spicy flavors.
Oh.
And I imagine if you're a Pakistani American cooking at Thanksgiving dinner, this is where you're going to put a little bit of extra spice, a little bit of extra, hot sauce that maybe some other Americans wouldn't. And that's the beauty of Thanksgiving dinner. Is it? Okay, so that's the vegetable or the celery, which I will put right here, so I can do the leeks. And Heather, do you want to?
Do you want me to start on this side with the other half?
You could start on the other half. So we have eggs and broth that we can cut into or sort of mix up.
Okay, so Heather will explain to me now what is happening.
Right, so my part of the stuffing, and I am a fantastic assistant chef, I'm in charge of the eggs and the chicken broth mixing.
Okay.
So we're gonna take 3 eggs here, which are great, crack them right in the bowl. Look at that, beautiful.
And the eggs you need for binding it all together, right?
Okay.
And if you're like me, you usually get a little bit of shell in the eggs. Got to pick that out. Make sure that there's no shell in there. Egg cracking was not a skill I was always very good at.
And that's why we always crack it in another bowl.
Ah, see, learn something new every day. I did not know that. Well, there you go.
That's fine. Okay.
And now,
that's only if you have a dishwasher.
that's true. Next up, we're going to put in 3 to 4 cups of this chicken broth. So I'm going to go ahead and measure that out.
Okay.
We have this lovely stuff. Start with 3 cups, and then the 2 chefs who are way more experienced than I am will tell you exactly whether or not this is the right.
Because then at the end, you never know quite how much bread you have. You have to sort of match the amount of liquid to the amount of bread you have, right?
So that is 3 cups of chicken broth with 3 eggs, and I'm just going to give those a little bit of a mix. I use a fork. You can use whatever utensil you have there.
Okay, and then?
And then...
All right, and then we're going to start. Okay, that's good. Now, we're going to figure out how to turn this.
Can I do it for you?
Yes, please. Yes, please, because I bet you know. Yeah.
A little bit of it, though.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
We're gonna let it get hot. I see.
So loads of butter.
Basically, we're gonna saute all of this.
Okay.
In loads of butter. Yes. Again, olive oil, chicken fat. Your choice.
It's good to be an assistant chef sometimes.
I know, isn't it nice? I feel like this is often my role at Thanksgiving. I am never, ever in charge of the turkeys. I'm usually in charge of assisting, putting things together.
I'm waiting for it to get.
What have you done? What have you done in the past that you're not in charge of the turkey?
Oh, well, that is a very good choice. So I made a mistake one year. I was studying in Sweden for graduate school, and I thought it to myself. Well, hey, a lot of my Swedish friends have never experienced a Thanksgiving. I'll invite a couple people. So I invited my entire graduate school class, not thinking people would show up. I had 60 people agree.
Oh my God.
And then I had to rope 2 people to find turkeys in Uppsala, Sweden. We found 3 turkeys. And then I was frantically YouTubing videos because I've never made a turkey in my life. And we have very small ovens. So I had to go find different kitchens to borrow. We made turkeys. I found ingredients for 9 pies. And then because we had 60 people, I was only giving people a tiny amount of turkey each time. It was a little bit of a mess, but it all got together.
What a crazy.
You need any of this?
At the end, I'm gonna put a little bit in there. Yeah, I'm gonna a little more butter because it's actually quite a full pan, and you know you want to have that. And so yeah, it just takes a few minutes to kind of saute them into.
Smells so good already.
So, okay, so wait, what about the eggs and the broth?
So what we're going to end up doing is mixing this, which is sort of the flavor, with the eggs and the broth and the bread into one big
bowl, which I have here.
So baguette ली थी इन्होंने, कड़क डबल रोटी हमारी जो होती है, उसको इस तरह पीसेस में काट लिया था और इसको ड्राई किया था अवन में, ठीक है? ये देखें, ये ड्राई कर दिया है इन्होंने अवन में. अब इसमें ये सारी चीज़ें जाएंगी जो फिर टर्की को स्टफ़ करेंगे. टर्की को अगर स्टफ़ नहीं करना है तो अलग एक डिश के तौर पे आप इस ब्रेड को भी रख सकते हैं. Did you understand what I said?
जी मैं
समझ गई आप.
I got it.
मैंने सही बोला मैंने.
सही बोला.
I got it. I know. I got it.
Okay.
Dry bread or yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay. So what did you add?
So I'm adding just the flavorings. I mean, again, this is where your own personal preferences. Some people will put a lot of particular spice. They put a lot of garlic.
Okay.
In this case, we don't.
What
have
is
garlic.
this? Yeah. What is this? I didn't expect you to taste it. What is it?
I think that's a black pepper.
No, this is black pepper. This is salt. That seems to be oregano. And this is what?
That might be oregano.
Let me see.
No, it isn't. This is
little-
oregano. What is this mysterious spice?
I don't want to get in trouble with her by tasting it again, but yeah, there you go. It's something. I'm not sure what it is.
This is that secret ingredient you never told us about, isn't it?
The secret ingredient that I put in sometimes is like a sausage, but I didn't do that here. Right?
Oh, okay. To give that smoky flavor.
Yeah, a little smoky flavor.
Oh, lovely.
People will put chicken. Again, you can sometimes put a meat into the stuff.
I got it. Okay. Now what?
So now we're just. I mean, we sort of. Look. You tell me. Do you think you think the onions
It's
are
done.
like done? Then
It's
we go.
absolutely done.
Because this will get cooked in. So then that's done this way, right? There we go. It's hard to tell. All right. Then we're going to put all the breadcrumbs in there.
Okay. Should I?
All right, let's see. We're going to put, I'm going to put 80% of the breadcrumbs. I always leave a little bit at the end just to adjust if I need to. Okay. And then I'm going to first this, and we mix this in. And again, this is going to have all kinds of different flavors depending on what you've put in there.
Okay.
But the thing you have to be careful of is, like, as you know, is you have to not pour the eggs into the super hot.
Yes, otherwise they'll scramble.
They'll scramble. Right. And that's what I try to mix the soup in too. Actually, it might be a better idea to pour the soup in here to cool it down and then put the eggs in. But you know what? We thought we did it differently. So
Let's go to experiment.
Oops.
Yeah.
Recipes can sometimes be a little bit of a suggestion.
Any funny incidents when you were cooking your turkey on Thanksgiving?
I've been lucky. I've never had a major collapse. I did almost burn the gravy once. Like I just forgot about it and burned it. There is a famous story in the White House of President Truman hosting Thanksgiving dinner for it was not an official event. It was a big event. It's kind of a congressional friends and a few things like that. So it wasn't quite a state dinner, but the staff, one of the waiters, brought out big turkey, like that, big 25-pound, 10, 12 kilo turkey, and tripped. Oops, the turkey fell. This is in the White House. Turkey fell down.
Oh my God.
What do you do if you're the president of the United States and you have guests? He very calmly said, "That's okay. Just take it back into the kitchen and bring out the other turkey." So of course, they did not have another turkey, but they took it back in the kitchen.
Ta-da!
Back out, and there's the other turkey. Yes.
Oh my God.
It's a pretty famous story. I'm sure it's true. But no, President Trump used to talk about that. So, okay, I think we're close enough now. If you want to pour.
Can we wait?
Yes.
Because we'll take a break.
Okay.
We'll get some time to cool this
it down.
as well.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and then we'll do the rest of the stuff. And we also need to make the cream corn and then I'll do my dessert.
Yes. Okay.
So we'll take a short break. Why don't you take a break in Urdu? That's your camera.
जी ओके आज एक ब्रेक है और बहुत शुक्रिया हमारी खाना बहुत मज़ेदार होगी इंशाल्लाह
Okay, great.
Very nice.
जी, welcome back. आप देख रहे हैं Food Diaries Thanksgiving Special with me and my esteemed guests on this channel आज और अब हम क्या करेंगे टर्की तो ओवन में जा चुका है स्टफिंग हम बना रहे थे now over to you.
We are finishing off the stuffing because it's cooled down a little bit. We've got a mix of the eggs and just chicken broth. It can be water. It's got to be a liquid that will then soak up the dry into the dry stuffing mix.
Okay. And what else will you add in it?
And then I am mixing it around to see if I'm at home, I'm going to add. This is garlic, chopped garlic.
We love garlic.
Just you can never have too much garlic.
Yes.
A little more salt, although I've had some salt in there, you know.
Okay.
And then these red chili peppers. I don't often add that, but since I'm in Pakistan,
the desi touch.
Since I'm in Pakistan, I want to surprise my family with like, ooh, this is a Pakistani version of that, right? Okay. And then the rest of this is just actually I like the pepper. Okay.
Okay. That's it.
And we're gonna just mix it around, and as you can see, it's a little soupy, so that's why I have a few more of these to add back in. I had the right measure, and
why don't we add all of them in?
You know, I think
just
you're right.
add
We just
them.
add them all in.
Yeah.
It's not. Stuffing is a very forgiving dish. You know, if it's a little too much, if it's too dry, you add a little water. If it's not dry enough, you add a little more bread.
Okay.
That looks pretty good.
Now
but I think this is basically where it wants to be.
So where does this go in?
We need to put it in a baking dish.
Like this?
I would put it in a little bit bigger of one.
We can use the one we just put the bread in.
We can use that one we just used, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good size for it. The one thing I want to do, though, is I want to put a little bit of butter in there to just to
grease it,
keep it from sticking.
Okay.
Because the worst part of stuffing is losing some to it didn't come out. You know?
Okay. Done.
All right. And then we're just gonna dump it in there.
Yum.
You get all the good stuff, all the good parts, all the liquid, all the bread.
So stuffing is my second favorite Thanksgiving dish.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we put this out. I would say for just looking at this, for the amount of stuffing, I think I might go for a slightly smaller. Now that I look at it, I would go a little smaller, so it's a little thicker, but it's fine. It'll be delicious.
Should I go and put it in the oven?
I think we should put it in the oven. Okay. Yes. Yum. Okay.
Approximately how long would you have that cooked for?
You'd cook it for about 25 minutes, and then you'd turn it around maybe, and check it, and then probably another 20, 25 minutes. So it's between 50 minutes and an hour. That's a little smaller. If you do a bigger one.
Okay, so now over to Heather for the next recipe.
Okay, this happens to be my favorite Thanksgiving food. One I'm going to be bringing when we do Thanksgiving here in Pakistan is mashed potatoes. Now, to be full fairness, I do mine normally with skin on. You can do skin on, you can do skin off. Boil the potatoes, it's super simple. Then, and you make as many potatoes as you want depending on how many people. I use a fork, other people use a masher. I find a fork is totally fine. Just mashing the potatoes pretty quickly. It's pretty easy. And what makes mashed potatoes super good? A lot of butter.
Yes, lots of butter.
You cannot have too much butter in mashed potatoes, despite what people say. Thanksgiving is not the time for a diet. Everyone wears their stretchy pants to it. You take food breaks. You come back for seconds. You come back for thirds. Everyone knows that you don't wear anything with a zipper to Thanksgiving. So we do that, and then I always add. To make it a little flavorful, I usually add a little bit of cream just to make it a little more smooth, and it adds a little bit more flavor. Just a bit, I would say a couple tablespoons full of cream.
Milk.
Or milk.
Okay.
Either or works, honestly.
Do you want cream too?
Oh, we can stick with the milk.
Okay.
To be honest, I usually mix of both. And you can see it's a little richer. Gives it a nice kind of flavor there. I think it needs more butter because why not?
Okay.
Always. And
Always.
then we'll need some salt and pepper. And
There we
those,
go.
now unlike throwing pinches of it, you don't want to over salt it because you do want people to come back for it. But you can see it's pretty smooth. I use about that much pepper. It's about a tablespoon of pepper. I sprinkle that around in there. And then I use about the same amount again for the salt. A couple pinches of salt. I do about 2 in my palm here. Not that bad. Spread that around. And then you have very simple Thanksgiving mashed potatoes.
Okay, great.
Yum.
Okay, so now let's move on to the cream corn.
Okay. All
Who's
right.
doing that?
That's me. That's me.
Okay.
So cream corn is a family recipe. This actually comes from the Ritz restaurant in Newport Beach, California, which is where my wife is from.
Okay.
And it's a recipe that corn obviously is a standard vegetable or starch in the United States history. The American Indians ate it and used it a lot. It was available. It was one of the things that was easily used. So it's a very simple dish, which I have to sort of remember some of the details. But it's basically corn, milk, and salt and pepper and butter, right? That's kind of the cool things. I'm looking for a measuring cup is what I'm looking for. And not finding...
What do you want?
Oh, the pan under here.
That's what I want. That's what I want, right? Which you... Okay. So we're going to do about, what do you say, about this is milk, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So we're going to do a couple cups of this. Ooh, it's starting to go, yeah. And then we have cream, I see right here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to do about the same
Use
amount.
the spatula. Cream.
Yeah, and I'm going to eyeball. I'm just going to use all of this because I think
Okay.
it's about the right amount.
Okay,
So
milk
it's just
and cream.
Whoops, a little bit of thickness, and obviously you want it to be stirring around. And then we're going to put all of the corn in there just as it is. This is kernels.
Okay,
You can get
yes.
them frozen. You can get them out of the can. You can
Off the cob.
you can cut them off the cob if you roast it. That's always fun.
Okay.
And we're going to do a little bit of salt right here. Always a little bit of salt. And we're just going to let it cook for a few minutes.
We even get cream corn tins. Would that work or not?
No.
No.
No, you have to cook it like this.
You have to cook
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
There is, in my childhood, I remember a company that would make canned cream corn.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. So
yeah, I was also wondering.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put a little sugar in there if
Yeah.
you want. You're basically wanting to cook it down a little bit, and while it's doing that,
What about some cheese?
that comes at the end.
Oh, okay.
What I want is a small little bowl to do a little bit of butter. Actually, I've got this here. We're going to do this. We're going to put a little bit of flour in about half. What is this? About 2 tablespoons of butter. It's actually a little bit more. I'm going to put a little flour in and mix it up because that's going to end up being cooked in with. Thank you. Yeah, cooked in. The flour is going to thicken it up a little bit. And we just want to
Butter and flour.
butter and flour. I mean, it's like a little bit of a roux, right? Yeah. I probably don't have enough flour in here, so I'm going to put a little bit more because I didn't measure it. I'm getting over cocky and overconfident in my old age, so I think, I don't need to follow the recipe, but it's probably a good idea to
Okay,
do
what
that.
next?
Then this goes in there. I'm going to let this cook a little bit.
Do you want me to stir it?
Yeah, if you don't mind stirring it. It's supposed to simmer about 5 minutes. We had it on hot. You can sort of speed it up a little bit.
So you add the roux and then you
we're
add
gonna
the cheese.
The
What
cheese comes on the Parmesan cheese comes on
Okay,
top.
on
It's
top.
more of a topping.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna basically you cook it and it's a little bit more. And we're gonna put.
Okay, so
now
how
you-
long will this take now?
So this basically cook it for 5 minutes.
Okay.
We've been cooking
so
for
what
2.
we'll do is we'll take a break.
Okay.
We'll let this cook in the
Right,
break.
okay.
And then we'll come back
And finish it
then you have to help me with the dessert.
Yes, I love that. idea. And we'll finish
Okay,
that off
so-
in 1 minute and do the dessert.
ओके सो नाजरीन हम छोटी सी ब्रेक की तरफ चलते हैं हम क्लीन अप करेंगे क्रीम कॉर्न हमारा बन रहा है टर्की हमारा अवन में हो रहा है मैश पोटैटोज हमारे रेडी हो गए हैं तो आप कहीं मत जाइएगा हमारे साथ रहिए देखते रहिए थैंक्सगिविंग स्पेशल शो विथ मी एंड माय लवली एस्टीम्ड गेस्ट्स ऑन मसाला टीवी Welcome back. Okay, now what is the next step? Our cream corn.
To finish it off, we have this butter and flour roux that we're going to mix in.
Okay.
Just to firm it up a little bit. Heather, will you stir that for me?
Absolutely.
And then a bunch of salt and pepper, because salt and pepper kind of fixes all kinds of things. And
this looks good.
that's enough, that's enough. And then once it's mixed in, here, we'll pour it into, we can turn that off, and put it into this baking pan. Not yet. We're gonna cover this. Once we have it, it's cooked. We're gonna cover it with some Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
And then take it to the oven and just put it under the broiler for a minute or two. There you go. Go.
All right.
Cheese away.
Cheese away.
So that the cheese gets melted a little bit and crisped up. And then it's ready to serve. It's served
Great.
hot and it's ready
I
to
look
go.
forward.
Looks delicious.
Okay. So
That is ready.
where would... There we are. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll start with the mutanjan. Okay, two types of rice, Sela or basmati. We use Sela rice for this dessert. Okay, and this is particularly served at weddings. Normally zarda is served at weddings, which is just sweetened rice, which is yellow in color. But mutanjan is a bit fancier version of it, and you can see those colorful little sweetmeats or mithai that we call. So we have to color the rice.
Oh, fun.
So we've got different colors here. And I boiled the rice. It's totally boiled. It should not be raw at all.
Okay.
It's totally boiled, and it has cloves and cardamoms in it.
You can smell that. It's
Cold now, or is
delicious.
it hot?
Yeah, you can see. No, it's cold right now.
yeah.
All you need to do is mix the different colors very well. Always add little color so that you can always add it later on. Doesn't become too dark. So there's...
Okay. Do we
Mix it,
keep going?
mix it.
More?
Yes,
Okay,
mix it.
right.
Oh, pretty.
So you're trying to get everything
Yes, all the
uniform color.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so green
I can mix it.
and then the red.
And that's not flavor food coloring, that's just
No,
food
just
coloring.
plain food color.
Oh, spoon better. Okay.
So all of us are making it.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
This is fun, actually. I never would have thought to put color.
So it's red, green, and yellow food color, and plain boiled Sela rice with cloves and cardamom.
Honestly, right now I could probably just eat it as it is. It smells amazing.
Okay, so this is ready.
Is that good? Is that good?
Yes, great,
Okay.
great. Okay, now we need to make, I need to fry something.
Okay.
Every nut or coconut or whatever I'm using, this is coconut, hard coconut, which is thinly sliced like this, almonds, cashews, and raisins. I've soaked the raisins in water so they plump up, okay, and I'll just remove this water. We need to fry all of this in ghee or butter, whatever you like. This is khoya, this is milk, which is cooked for a long time. You can even taste it.
I
Just
would
taste it.
happily taste
Yeah.
things.
Me too, here a little bit.
Oh, nice. How long do you cook that for? Like days?
Many hours. No, not
Hours.
days. Many
Days,
hours.
hours.
Many
So
hours.
it gives you consistency of like cheese or
Sort of, yes. But it's actually milk, which is just cooked so long in a big cauldron sort of a thing, turns into khoya.
That's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Lots of mithai is made using this as a base.
Right.
So you add all of this and you fry it up. This is used as garnish. Cashews, almonds, coconut, and raisins. Lots of ghee is used, lots of sugar is used. You can always adjust the quantity according to your calorie count. But
I think we established calories don't count.
Yeah, but when we make sweets, we always use ghee or butter.
Okay.
It's best, the flavor comes out really nice.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I use oil.
Right. No, butters.
Okay, so this is done. And now we need to make, okay, I'll just use the same pan. I'll just take this out once it's done. It's nice and toasted, and the coconut is toasted, and the nuts and raisins are done in the ghee or the clarified butter.
So does each family, or do people have their own kind of twist on the recipe? Do they add it?
Recipe.
This is the basic.
It's the basic recipe.
And what
you can add gulab jamuns, you can add chum-chums, you can add anything on top, whatever you want to add. Depends on your budget, depends on what you have at home.
Right.
So all you need to do is fry this because this will go right on top.
Yeah.
And all the 3 rice will be then mixed together, and we'll add khoya on top, and we'll add little milk, we'll add some kebra water. See, this is screw pine essence. Screw pine. Screw pine is a tree. We get the essence from it.
It's not a pine tree.
Wow.
No, it's not pine. It's screw pine. I've seen it grow in Thailand. Yeah.
That's very neat.
It's called kebra.
That's a very strong
It's very
aromatic.
Yes,
I love
yes.
that. Yeah.
This is water. It's not as strong. If you put the essence, then it is much stronger.
Yeah.
Now I need to take this out. Using a slotted spoon so that.
Leave the ghee in there for
Yeah.
the next thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of perfect that we're doing this because, of course, one of the things about Thanksgiving is dessert. And people bring desserts and people think about desserts. And so
I was thinking if I should be making an American dessert, but then I said no.
No,
let
no,
me
no, no.
teach you.
This is
Let me
perfect.
teach you
Right.
something from our cuisine as well.
Exactly.
That's the right call.
And I am sure that in the Pakistani American community in places in the United States, when they do Thanksgiving dinner, many families probably do this as one of their desserts because they like to bring that mix, they mix the traditions. It's kind of
Okay, this is done. Now we need to put in the sugar.
In the ghee. Okay.
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Teeny weeny. And we'll just let this melt.
So if you're making this, what do you like to add to it if this is the basic?
This, only this.
Only
You're
the
a little
basic,
bit
okay.
gulab jamun. We'll add a
yeah.
little bit of lemon juice. And we'll add some milk.
It smells so good.
Now you said these are the meaty?
This is the mithai.
Mithai.
Taste one, just pick up one and eat it.
I will happily do that. Taste testing is one of my favorite parts of cooking.
That is an important role. You're neglecting your
So good.
colleague here. You might need to.
Oh, did you want one too?
I might want one
Did you
too,
want-
right?
Sharing is caring.
I feel like this is a mark of something. I'm not sure what, but
When I taste test, I forget that there's other people around.
So all of them taste the same, just the color.
Are you sure? I don't need to taste the
No,
other one?
don't you? Don't you?
I think red tastes different from yellow.
No such
I
thing.
think that's possible.
Okay. So once the sugar is melted, we put the milk, we put the lemon juice, right? Now all you need to do is put some khoya or the dried up milk.
Now, does it melt in there?
We'll just put this on top. Yes, yes, it will.
Melt.
So that
Wow.
melts down back into a liquid, I guess. Yeah.
It tastes divine.
That's so
And
neat.
all you need to do is mix in all the 3 colored rice.
Into there.
Yes.
I see.
And then you take a big, huge silver platter, put it, garnish it with the nuts and the coconut.
I see, yeah.
And this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to
And
be
if
beautiful.
you feel it's dry after you add the rice, then there's some more butter or ghee,
Always.
always. So you just break this up. It won't turn into milk. It'll be granular.
I see. Okay.
You know,
like
there
a
are times
fudge.
we use, in place of ricotta, cheese, the khoya.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
It's
Right.
just the same thing, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'll start adding my rice, all the 3 colored rice. Thank you.
Oh, that looks so good. So I have not had this before.
Yep.
I've
Same
been here
here.
3 months, and I have
Okay, 3 months is-
neglected this
This is
very important piece
It's
of
not
cuisine.
something you eat on a daily basis here.
this is a special occasion
Yeah.
dessert.
But I feel
Well, I had special guests, so I had to make something.
which we are
special.
honored. That's delightful. Yeah.
And you just lightly mix this in, and then you can see that all the colored rice
Yes,
Yeah.
is mixed in very
beautiful.
nicely,
wow.
right? And you need to put this on a low flame, or you put a tawa under it.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
fascinating.
Clever. Yeah.
So it does not stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? And
I
we
suppose
take this out.
one thing you could do is instead of adding yellow, leave one rice white you'd have red, white, and blue rice for your American Thanksgiving-themed Pakistani dessert.
We're tweaking the dishes.
Well, come on now. No, I added green for the Pakistan.
Yeah,
Right, no,
Pakistan.
fair.
And there are a few grains of white rice now.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
a little
all
bit
mixed.
then.
Okay,
All right,
so we
fine.
need a platter in which we'll take this out, okay?
Okay.
And we'll just garnish it with all of this.
Right.
That's
right.
it.
Delicious.
It's
delightful.
ready.
Wow.
Okay, so we'll add the screw pine water or screw pine essence. If you're using essence, you need to add less. Now, once this is all nicely mixed and all the sugar syrup is absorbed, all I need to do is take it out on this pretty silver plate or platter. Okay, and then I'll decorate it.
Nice.
Okay, so
Now the fun part.
It's good. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Just, yeah.
So we'll put some khoya on top. In most mithais, the khoya goes in as well as on top. So,
That's what you do.
and then
That's beautiful.
we put all these lovely colorful little balls like this.
So you can circle it.
Yeah, it's called cham cham. You can put gulab jamun also, anything you like, anything you have.
And do people make these? Did you make these? Like at
No,
home?
no, we get it
You
from
buy them?
shops.
Okay.
They're basically it's sugar and flour of some sort. Look at these.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah, all done?
I guess you're all done when you decide you're all done.
Well, we're not done then.
Yeah. I was like, keep putting them on.
There's
you can
still
have plenty
some
on
in the
there.
bowl, so I guess we're not done.
Yeah, we're not done. Let's just use all of them.
Yes, absolutely. Use all of them.
And
Final piece de resistance.
the nuts. And the coconut.
Right.
The raisins and the cashews and the almonds.
Oh, it looks ridiculously good.
Yeah, full of calories. But it's okay. It's
the way it
Thanksgiving.
It's the way it should be.
That's right. Right.
And we've got the lovely turkey out.
And a Thanksgiving dessert.
And that's what we've got. Yep. That looks
Beautiful.
delightful. It's got to
Beautiful.
be kids will love that too. Just looking at
Kids
that.
would love to
Kid would
assemble
not,
it.
you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'm going to want to assemble it next time.
Okay, next time.
That looks great.
Okay, see you on the table. ओके जी, तो हम आ गए हैं टेबल पे और हमारी टेबल सज चुकी है एंड आई कांट वेट टू ट्राई द टर्की एंड द cream corn and the mash and the stuffing as well. Everything looks divine, but you guys want to start with the dessert.
जी क्योंकि मेरी राय में dessert बहुत अहम है, or I always think dessert first. Especially since you made it, and because this is the one I tasted first, this is definitely how I want it.
Okay, go ahead.
This
Help
is-
yourself.
Excellent.
All right, here.
This is a great introduction to our first Thanksgiving in Pakistan.
That's right. This is such an important, and we're very grateful for the opportunity.
Thank you for coming and
share-
honoring me on Food Diaries.
Such an
Yeah.
important American cultural tradition with our friends in Pakistan. This is something very important to us. And to then jump right into a really delicious looking Pakistani dessert.
And a rice sweet dish.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Normally we only have rice puddings, you know, in Western cuisine we have rice puddings, but we don't have something like this.
This
No,
is
no.
so good.
The sugar
wow.
can go lower. I know I added a lot.
No, ये बहुत मजेदार
I
है.
feel the sugar.
Thank you so
Shabash.
much. बहुत शुक्रिया. I'm so
शुक्रिया.
happy you liked it.
This is delightful. Oh my God, this is so good.
I'm going to be introducing this to people back
Yes,
home.
you must. Yes, it's very simple. And you know, at Pakistani sweet meat shops, mithai shops, you can get all this cham cham, gulab jamun,
Right.
and all these little things. If you don't have anything, you can even add some dehydrated colored fruit, like you know, kiwi and strawberry, pineapple, something like that, just to give a color.
Right, right.
I'm definitely gonna...
There's one thing I've not added, which all my fans and viewers will be seeing the recipe and thinking I've forgotten to add it. It's called ashrafi. It's petha or ashrafi. You know, pumpkin, the white pumpkin. It's cooked and then it's colored and it's dipped into a sugar syrup. And that
nice.
is ashrafi or a petha. And we add that as well.
As
That's the only thing I've not
a
added.
topping.
Yeah, as a garnish, just for the color.
Obviously, I need to start taste testing this around Karachi.
Right,
Start looking
right.
and finding all the different
I don't think you
variations.
get it in shops like that.
No,
it's something you
Probably
make
not.
at home.
Yeah.
Then I will attempt to make it
Yes,
at
you
my
should.
home. I'll follow your recipe
Great.
and we'll try it.
And one of the things similar to that, one of the things that we didn't make today that you would normally want to have with turkey is the cranberry sauce, which is sweet
Yeah.
and tangy. You get this sort of orange,
Yeah.
and it's such a perfect complement. Like the sweet and the crunchy of this, you get this sweet cranberry sauce with a salty turkey.
Okay, I know you're really enjoying the dessert, but time's up for our show.
Can we keep eating?
No, you can keep eating, but if there's any message you want to give to our viewers, that's your camera.
I think it's just really something I want to say thank you to you for allowing us this opportunity. For us, it's really important to share important American cultural traditions. And Thanksgiving is one of the most important ones, and it's the one that we're in right now. And so I just really am delighted to have the opportunity to share. I hope people look at the recipe and enjoy it. And if anybody tries it, if anybody out there tries it at home and makes it, we'd love to hear on our social media pages how you liked it and whether it was good. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much for coming, and we enjoyed the show. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
And I hope you enjoyed too.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Delightful
जी.
day.
Thank you so much again. Okay जी, it's time to end the show. अब दीजिए मुझे और मेरे esteemed guests को इजाज़त. मेरी और आपकी मुलाकात होगी एक और एपिसोड ऑफ फूड डायरीज में. देखना मत भूलिएगा और याद रखिएगा कि मसाला है तो खाने में है मज़ा. खुदा हाफिज़.